Life is hard, but it's a matter of how you take it. And are you gonna let life dominate you, or are you gonna dominate life? And okay, all jokes aside, being honest, you know, life happens and we truly have to take control of it. We truly have to, take control of our own lives, as we are the one living it. We are the ones in control of our own life, our destiny, with, the help of others along the way that teach us stuff. And one thing I realize is you gotta take a look at life. You gotta take a look at life and what you're doing at the current moment, the actions, the habits, the thoughts, and how you react to your own feelings, and see where that is taking you. See where down the road that is gonna take you and lead you in. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with where that leads you, that end result, that final destination, are you happy with it? Are you satisfied? Are you okay with how it will turn out? And if not, that just means there's room for improvement. And I believe regardless, there's always room for improvement. So it's a matter of what will you do? It's a matter of what will you do? Will you just stand aside and let life pass you by? Or will you take every matter into your own hands that you can and confront it? And confront life, confront challenges and problems that, create results. But, it really gets me thinking of, where are we wasting life? Where are we wasting our own time? Where are we wasting our own attention, our own focus, our own selves? Where are we wasting ourselves, in a sense? And it gets me, for example, it's like, imagine you have a hole in your roof and it's raining, and you see water just pouring in. And it's one thing if you don't know that you don't know. So it's like you see it and you're like, oh, it happened, so I gotta deal with that now. But it's another thing if you already knew what the problem was, if you knew where the rain was coming in from, what hole that was coming from, and you say, I don't care, I'll fix it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And then when you wake up and your house is flooded, or your ground is all wet, you knew what would happen. Whether that whole be, wasting too much time on social media, consuming too much junk food, going on shopping sprees, whatever it is that sets you back from where you want to be. How do you cover that hole before it even just affects you, in a sense? Or how do you cover up that hole, realizing that there is one? And I think another thing is searching for those holes, searching for where rain could potentially leak in. You search around and see where could I improve on myself? Where could I change? Or where could I cover this up? Or by cover up, I mean fix. Where could I fix this? And try and make it the most sturdy, solid house imaginable. And your life. You are with yourself 24/7, so you know where you're spending your time. You know where you're spending your attention, your focus. For me, in the past, it was, I'd watch too much Netflix. I'd watch too much shows and all that. And what came with that was misuse of my time. It was a misuse of my time because I didn't know what I wanted to do instead. I didn't know how I wanted to spend my time instead. So it's like, okay, I clear up that free time, whatever. What do I do with it now? And I had to discover some things. I had to try some things and see what really stuck. And I'm glad. For me, I had my brother that kind of pushed me back into soccer, because he had told my dad, he's like, yo, he wants to join the soccer team. And I was hesitant because it's like, there was a worry that I wasn't good enough. So, I still pushed that all to the side. I pushed that feeling of I'm not good enough to the side and said, okay, I do want to join. When he asked me, do you want to join this team? I said yes. Here we are now. I realized, of course, I wasn't good enough. I wasn't the best. I'm still not the best, but I was I was not that good because I never really played seriously. I just played for the fun of it. And I realized this is something I enjoy. You know, I would spend my time on this rather than on social media, on Netflix, on YouTube. So it was finding a solution for that time, swapping out how I use that time, because I know myself. If I, dive something, I dive in completely, you know. And another thing that also came about a bit later, right? I went to the gym too, because I'm like, I can go to the gym. It's better than just staying at home, just kind of sitting around, because I knew myself well enough at the time that I would just sit around, because I didn't have no books, I didn't have no guitar, I didn't do any of that. The thing that was really just pushing me out of my comfort zone, was soccer and improving on that, practicing. And what pushed me more out was going to the gym, which had its own consequences. And by consequences, it came with, cramps. Like I would get a cramp in my leg, because if you think about it, at the time I was playing soccer every day and I was going to the gym. So I was bound to get, and I knew it came with it. I knew I was pushing my body to the utmost, and going back to, the beginning of it, it's like thinking about what was holding me back and why. And as I said, it was the fear that I wasn't good enough, not being good enough for me personally. And why wasn't I good enough? Well, I've never played. I've never actually played on a team, like, seriously. I didn't exactly have a position. I didn't exactly know how to play with the team. I didn't know any of that. But guess what? The decision rests on my hands. It's in my hands. And that's how I want to spend my time. I accepted it. I'm like, okay, And the funny thing is too, I remember, it was around 7 in the morning. I think I was four matches in of my career. I got injured. I got injured because I didn't know how to properly balance myself. Coming off a jump, because I had to header the ball. I jumped, headed it, and I landed on my ankle wrong. I rolled my ankle, because there was that lack of experience of, how to kind of use your body and all that, how to maneuver and things, because it's a very, you kind of have to be agile, especially with the way I was playing. Just because I had stamina and speed, they would send long balls, and it was like, by long balls, they'd send it far, and I had to run and chase it down and, pass the defender. But, where was I going with it? It was all in my hands. It was all in my hands to make that decision to change. I looked at where I was going, sitting at home, just getting off work and doing nothing. It personally didn't mean much to me, watching Netflix or shows, because I wasn't really passionate about shows, movies, any of that. It was just a way to distract myself. That's what it was. It was a way to distract myself, and it was up to me to change it. As it's in your hands, it's your decision to make a change if you truly need it. But one thing I also focused on is or even before that, once you know what the mistakes are, not the mistakes, but once you know what is holding you back, or what is kind of essentially holding you back from achieving something that you truly want, whether it's a goal or, I guess it's mainly pertaining to goals. Once you figure out what is holding you back from that vision of your life that you want to have, it's like you have the freedom to choose what to do with it. It's a freedom in a sense, because you see, it's like, okay, I don't have to stay this way, so what can I do instead? That's freedom. And you can explore with whatever you want, because I remember I tried a plethora of things. I think learning a language like 3 separate times, and it's like language is cool to me now, but I wasn't necessarily passionate about it. I just did it just for the sake of trying new things out. I think I tried drawing. It was cool, but it wasn't really my thing. Let's see what else I tried. I can't remember what else, just because it didn't really stick with me. And it was just experiencing things. That's what it was. And I bumped my heads a couple times. It's like, okay, this is cool, but it's not really like I enjoy doing it. Like I would want to keep doing it. And I had the freedom to choose, and you have the freedom to choose too, whatever you want to do, however you want to take your life, and where you want to take it, and at what level. You know, that's your freedom, that's your choice. And you know, in a sense, you have to be direct with it. You have to be direct with life. You have to be direct with yourself too, because I feel like a lot of times we make excuses of why we can't do something. And we had to stop that. We had to stop making excuses of why. Instead, we should be asking, why not? Why not do this? Why not try and chase a better version of ourselves? Why not try and be someone who we wanted to become and want to still become? You know? And be direct with it. Be direct. And in a sense, it's like, sure, it's a bit aggressive. You know, you're calling it out for what it is. But that's what's needed at times. Be direct with it. You don't have to fluff it up. You don't have to hide away or try and avoid the truth or avoid what is. You know, you have to be, you know, direct with it. And in a sense, it really does take away your excuses. You know, if you're making excuses, like, for easiest example, going back to the soccer thing, if I would have stuck with my own quote unquote if I would have stuck with my own excuse that I'm not good enough, I would have never figured out that it was a passion and a love of mine. You know, playing sports, playing soccer. I would have never figured that out. But just because I said, you know, I feel this way. Okay, and is that gonna stop me? And you know, in a sense, it's like you have to separate your feelings from your actions, because a lot of times we're taught, you know, that you shouldn't make mistakes, or if you try something, it has to be perfect, or you know, making mistakes is wrong, when in reality it's like, nah, it's part of the process. And if anything, it's what you should go for, because that just means you're becoming better. There's something you don't know. So it's like, you know, it's not you shouldn't get caught up in your ego or something, or get, you know, agitated just because you failed. Like, nah, that just means you can keep going. There's still more to improve on and learn. And it's like, some people don't want to go through that. And there was a time where I didn't want to go through that, you know, being a bit hard-headed as I once was. I didn't like, you know, being told what to do, in a sense where it was like, I knew it benefited me, but it's like, because someone told me, I didn't want to do it. It was like that in a sense. But sometimes you just gotta step away from that ego, or just tear it down completely, because, you know, it sometimes doesn't help. It doesn't help at times. And you know, you can take a look at life as two different paths. The things you want to do, the habits, whatever, the mindset, and it's like, why do you do what you do? Why would you do what you do? You know, why would you want to play an instrument? I was always interested in music. It was always a love of mine, whether it was listening or just seeing people play. That's one reason, you know. Or imagining yourself playing an instrument, a song, and singing along to it, impressing yourself because you showed yourself you can do it. That's a reason why you could do it. Or on the other side, why do you waste time in it could be anything. Why do you waste time? Well, I don't even know. I can't even think of an example no more. It just feels so outside of myself in a sense. But let me think hard. Why do I? Why do I not want to go to the gym? Well, I'm scared of people judging me or saying I'm doing this wrong, or showing that I'm inexperienced in a sense. It feels awkward. Or I'm socially anxious, and it's like, I understand you feel that. I completely understand. But at some point, you can't let that stop you. As simple as it is, it's like you can't let that stop you. And over time, that feeling will just pass. It'll pass, or you'll just grow accustomed to that environment, or all of it, or whatever comes with it. And that's the thing. It's like you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, or even so you're expanding what is comfortable to you, because you're putting yourself in a new environment, because you're trying something new, because you're seeing life in a different lens, and you're seeing more for yourself, because you're taking life head first and confronting any challenges that pops up. And even now, it's like the reason it's like I'm speaking about this now is because now more than ever, it's becoming more ingrained in me that change has to happen. Life continuously goes, and either I'm gonna change with it, or I'm gonna stagnate. I'm gonna waste my potential. As we all have potential, we all have things within us that we can show to the world. We all have a creativity within us, and it's up to us to express it. Potential is just, how would I explain it? As potential is unused creativity, I guess you can say. And you had to bring that out. And show the world, hey, this is something that I thought of. It's part of me, or it's just something that I thought of. And and it's like at the same time, it's like making me think of like how we act, and how we grow up, and even so how we're still growing. And it's like certain responsibilities make you act the way that you do, because it's like the roles that we say we have, or we do have. It's like it makes us act in accordance to whatever that role is. Because it's, for me, I have family that I'm close with my family, so I want to show them that they don't necessarily have to stay how they are. They can grow and change. And it's a pain to see that sometimes they aren't able to heal. They aren't able to see past their own vision. They aren't able to see life from a different lens. And that's painful, especially when they're a bit older than I am, or they're around my age, and it's like they're so stuck in their ways that I can't help them. They can only help themselves. And I see the pain that has happened through that, because hopefully the person I am to other people is uplifting. And that's just a responsibility and a role I want to have. I want to uplift people. I want to show them that there's more to life than what we know. And it's up to them to accept it. And I'm okay with that. And I'm gonna act in accordance to that. I'm not gonna try and think negatively of myself or of other people. And I understand there can be bad situations, or things that just happen out of bad luck. I understand that. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from achieving or pursuing, or still thinking brightly of the world, because there's still beauty in the world. There's still beautiful people and amazing people that you meet on a day-to-day, that you could meet on a day-to-day interaction, or wherever. So it's like just freeing yourself in a sense. But it also gets me thinking of, you know, people, because since we're talking about people, it's like how people are around you. But I feel like I kind of just want to leave that off for like a different video. I feel like I've rambled on long enough, because final thoughts, it's like, where's your aim? Where is your aim? Where is your aim? And what are you focused on? Because how are you, a thing that really strikes me is, how are you supposed to aim at something when you don't know what it is? It's like you're just kind of looking around trying to hit a target that isn't there. So you have to really ask yourself, what is the target I'm trying to hit? What is the view and vision for myself that I want to have? You know, for me, it's, I guess, musician, soccer player, and just content creator, reader, I guess you can say, and just things like that that I guess you can attach to for the time being and try and grow and, you know, become. But we have to have an aim or a vision, and we always hear that. We always say, what is your vision? What is your purpose? But it's hard to get motivated when you don't have that. But it's like, we also hold ourselves back from experiencing or from trying new things out, so we never find out what that is that we would die for. We never find out what is the thing that motivates us, that wakes us up from our bed, and we keep going at every single day 110%. What is it? But I don't think we ever give ourselves a vulnerability to figure out. And you know, you figure it's either you're gonna have a hard life in the sense that you get challenges and you run away, and those challenges don't disappear. They don't disappear. You can only run away for so long until you get tired and it hits you. Is that the kind of difficulty you want to face, or you want to face the difficulty and the pain that comes with, you know, confronting it? You know, you may get hurt, but you overcome it and you become stronger in the process. So I guess I just want to leave it out there. Nice little talk. Yeah, honestly, that's just where my thoughts are leading me. Much needed. It was honestly much needed for me. But love you forever and always. See ya.